Elina Nyquist, and I will be taking a look today at La Machine à Coudre, translates to the sewing machine from Album pour les Toutes to Tietz Opus 103. This was a children's piece for piano composed by Mel Bonis. And Mel Bonis was a French late romantic composer, and she taught herself how to play piano at a very young age. She also attended the Paris Conservatoire and studied under César Franck, who was a very notable composer of that time. She composed for a variety of genres. She wrote more than 300 works, and these included not just piano solo works, but also chamber and orchestral, for example. And she was a very modest person and didn't really self-promote her works despite being very prolific. And she decided to compose until her death at 79 years old, so she was composing throughout her whole life. Um, Moving on to the piece that I chose. The sewing machine is rated level 1 by RCM. This piece has the left hand isn't very particularly difficult because there is just the repeated two staccato quarter note configurations that, as you can see on the left here, they stretch throughout the whole piece, just D, E repeatedly over and over, staccato, and the only thing to worry about with the left hand is maintaining that evenness while playing with the right hand melody on top. The right hand has the melody and alternates between staccato and slurs. Even just in the beginning, there's already staccato and slurs in the first line. So having the staccatos underneath may be a challenge for the student because playing different articulations in different hands may be a little difficult to coordinate at first. So that would require a lot of practice as well, hands separately. There is the right hand crossing the left hand in some areas, such as here and here. And this should be in a relaxed rocking motion on top. And you would really need to be careful that the student doesn't collapse their bridge when on the left hand when the right hand is crossing over their hand, because they might try to get out of the way of their right hand coming over and could sacrifice their hand shape during that. So it would really have to be carefully worked out. And especially in here, like measures 19 through about 21, the right hand is crossing over the left hand, um, underneath and over, which can be difficult to coordinate as well. So making sure to keep the left hand even while this is happening is very difficult to figure out for the student on their own. So you'd really have to work on coordinating that with them slowly. Okay, and some dotted rhythms are also in the right hand towards the end in that area I was just looking at, which this can disrupt the left hand even if you've worked on the choreography of moving, the dotted rhythms might start to rush, which may prove to be difficult. So I would work on lining up the rhythms on the score, maybe counting them out and drawing lines with the student to where each note falls for where they're confused. Like between the quarter notes, putting a line between the eighth note here, between them would be really useful for them to have a visual guide. There also are crescendos and diminuendos during the hand crossings, which can be challenging to coordinate as well, especially if they worked so hard on figuring out how to do the hand crossings, but then now they have to worry about dynamics as well and having a crescendo and diminuendo during it, which would require a lot of slow practice to work it up to tempo. So overall, this piece is, while it is ranked level 1, I think the most challenging part is that the balance between the two hands and keeping them even, especially in the left hand, keeping that rhythm even as possible while the right hand is playing on top is the most challenging part of this piece. And just making sure to keep the hands separate for a while and working the piece up to tempo will be the best way to go about teaching your students this piece. And I will be showing this piece in a moment on the piano as well, so please enjoy.